Hello, dear friends. It's not easy to synchronize economics with ethics, but we are moving in that direction. Opinion piece: New ethical economy, baptism of fire, new human being, economy of the spirit, new stablecoin to avoid financial fluctuations. Javier Milei, first anarcho-capitalist. Let's start. Our world is in the process of synchronizing many digital money networks into a collective quantum financial system. It is a synthesis of many ideas inspired by different cultures around the world. That is why an event like this changes the world, has the ability to evolve the human species to another level of evolution according to Goldilocks. The birth of our new economy is also the birth of a new human being. Many of the dynamics that are taking shape in this new economy of the spirit have the capacity to motivate and ensure a healthy environment. It is an open banking source capable of making changes at any given time when the direction is not for the well-being of the entire global community. It is a baptism of fire in many ways, for all of us, but our progress takes us on a journey into the unknown and the mysteries of life never before seen in history. Anarcho-capitalism. The world's first anarcho-capitalist politician, Javier Milei, recently won Argentina's presidential primaries. He is now the favorite in the next election. The result took many by surprise. Milei is a little-known candidate who surpassed the two regime parties entrenched in the country. If he won the elections, he would be the first anarcho-capitalist president in the world. Anarcho-capitalism is a current of political and economic thought that combines anarchism and capitalism into a coherent philosophy. In essence, it defends an organized society without a state and the protection of the sovereignty of the individual through private property, free markets, and competition. I do not dare to judge this system because it will have its advantages and disadvantages, like all political regimes. But I do not think that Argentina will be interested in leaving the BRICS. Furthermore, the BRICS are neither communist nor anti-communist, since they are made up of countries with very different and even contradictory political systems. In my opinion, a fifth-dimensional holographic system that galactics talk a lot about would be more interesting, but that system is currently very unknown and it is supposed to arrive in the future. Anarcho-capitalists believe that all human interactions should be based on voluntary consent and negotiation between individuals avoiding any form of coercion or violence. They propose that security, justice, and other services provided by the state could be offered by private companies and voluntary organizations in a competitive system. Some of the fundamental principles of anarcho-capitalism include private property. They consider that private property is a fundamental right and that individuals have the right to own and manage their own resources without state interference. Free market. They advocate a completely free market without government regulations, where transactions are carried out voluntarily between the parties, and competition is the main engine to establish prices and quality. Self-defense. Anarcho-capitalists believe that self-defense and personal security should be managed by specialized private companies rather than state police force. Arbitration and private justice. They propose that conflicts and disputes be resolved through arbitration and private justice systems instead of using government courts. Non-aggression. That is the principle of non-aggression. Digital economy. Crypto regulations are starting to shape the way we live, invest, and even think. Just 2 years ago, you barely heard of anyone talking about the new digital economy, and now it is a commonplace. New laws and regulation underpin every network that is connected to the new quantum financial system. You have the ability to influence the world like never before. We are currently in an ever-evolving event that will change the way we live forever. Right now, the central bank digital currency is only for wholesale use and for central banks. Currently, artificial intelligence is working on a mechanism that provides privacy, but they are a long way from public adoption. Stablecoins that represent the money of a country are much more advanced, and the support of these currencies is required to be based on gold and other raw materials. Spiritual economy. Synchronizing economics with spirituality implies the integration of spiritual, ethical, and moral values in economic and business decisions. Individuals and businesses can incorporate spiritual values into their economic activities. This could include ethical business practices such as corporate social responsibility and equity in the workforce. Business leaders can adopt a conscious leadership approach which is based on compassion, empathy, and ethical decision making. Ultimately, synchronizing economics with spirituality involves a holistic approach that recognizes the interconnectedness of all aspects of life and seeks to balance between economic success and spiritual and social well-being. This can be a gradual process that requires a constant commitment to spiritual values and principles in all facets of life and decision-making. Here are some tips on this. Investors can align their investment portfolios with their spiritual and ethical values. This means choosing investments that support companies and projects that are in line with your beliefs, such as socially responsible companies or those that promote sustainable solutions. Ethical investment funds are an example of how investors can channel their money into companies that seek a positive impact on society and the environment. Investors can align their investment portfolios with their spiritual and ethical values. This means choosing investments that support companies and projects that are in line with your beliefs, such as socially responsible companies or those that promote sustainable solutions. Ethical or sustainable investment funds are an example of how investors can channel their money towards companies that seek a positive impact on society and the environment. Supporting and promoting fair trade is another way to synchronize economics with spirituality. This involves ensuring that producers and workers are treated fairly and adequately compensated for their work. Consumers can choose to purchase products labeled fair trade to support this cause. Entrepreneurs can merge spirituality and economics by creating companies with a focus on solving social and environmental problems. These companies are often called social enterprises or impact ventures. They seek to generate profits while addressing important issues such as poverty, lack of access to education, or environmental degradation. It would be essential to promote education and awareness about the interconnection between economics and spirituality. This involves promoting understanding of how economic decisions can have an impact on society, humanity, and the planet. Educational institutions, spiritual leaders, and civil society organizations can play an important role in this process. Leaders at all levels, whether business, political, or community, can adopt conscious leadership that integrates spiritual principles into decision making and resource management. This can promote a culture of responsibility and ethics in all areas of society. Stablecoins. A gold commodity and hard asset-based stablecoin is a form of stablecoin backed by physical assets with intrinsic value, such as gold, other precious metals, commodities, or hard tangible assets. The idea behind this type of stablecoin is to provide value stability by tying its value to the amount of these physical assets backing the coin. The main goal of a stablecoin is to facilitate transactions and payments, provide price stability, and avoid the extreme fluctuations that are common in more volatile cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and Ethereum. To achieve this stability, stablecoins are typically backed by assets or reserves in precious metals and other financial assets. Algorithmic stablecoins use algorithms and supply control mechanisms to adjust their supply and demand and maintain a stable price. A stablecoin based on gold, commodities, and hard tangible assets is a cryptocurrency or digital currency that is backed by a reserve of physical assets. These assets may include the following: gold. In the case of a gold backed stablecoin, its value is directly linked to a certain amount of gold held in reserve. For example, a gold backed stablecoin token could represent ownership of a specific amount of gold stored in a vault. Commodities. In some cases, the stablecoin may be backed by a basket of commodities, such as oil, precious metals, food, or natural resources. The value of the currency is adjusted based on the prices of these underlying assets. Hard tangible assets. In addition to gold and commodities, hard tangible assets could include real estate, artwork, or other assets that have a stable, easily measurable value. The idea behind these stable coins is to provide value stability by tying the currency's value directly to physical assets with known and lasting value. This can help users avoid the volatility associated with other cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, which are not backed by physical assets. Importantly, the effectiveness of a tangible asset-based stablecoin depends on the transparency and ability to verify the quantity and quality of those underlying assets backing the coin. Additionally, regulations may vary by jurisdiction and may influence the issuance and operation of these stablecoins. Definition. The term new economy has been used in different contexts over time and can have various interpretations, but it usually refers to a period of significant changes in the economy and the way companies operate due to technological advances and transformations in business models. The new economy refers to an economic era characterized by the growing importance of information technology, globalization, digitalization, and disruptive innovation. In this economy, information and knowledge play a crucial role in creating value, and traditional industries are often transformed or replaced by new forms of business based on technology. Some key aspects of the new economy include information technology. Digitalization and the widespread use of the internet have revolutionized the way companies operate and communicate with consumers. Platform-based companies. Companies have created business models based on digital platforms that connect producers and consumers in a highly efficient way. New technologies and innovative approaches can radically change established industries, often challenging traditional players. The new economy is marked by greater global interconnectedness, allowing companies to operate in international markets more easily. Knowledge economy. Knowledge and information are valuable assets in the new economy, and companies invest in the generation and management of data and information strategically. Changes in the workforce. The new economy is often associated with automation and the need for digital skills, which can have a significant impact on the workforce. News. Breaking news. The winds of stagflation put the ECB and the euro on the ropes. Persistent inflation joins the economic deterioration of the eurozone. JP Morgan is selling a huge amount of silver, and something unprecedented is happening in the palladium market. Stephen Van Meter talks about a leaked report that shows 7 banks facing major liquidity problems. Gregory Manarino says the stock market is in for a big shock and a direct threat to the petrodollar is very real. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi called for a global framework on cryptocurrencies, artificial intelligence, and other emerging technologies. The State Bank of Vietnam has joined an alliance of Asian central banks that have worked together to link their national payment systems. Almost every Ponzi scheme in history was successful just before losing its fortune. And that's because the more they paint the picture of false profits and happy days, the more people continue to invest more money. Then, just when everyone is singing for joy, That's when they take all the money and run. De-dollarization. According to Matthew Fox, the Chinese yuan has little or no chance of dethroning the dollar, although global de-dollarization is occurring at a slow and steady pace. This would make sense of China wanting its yuan to break the dominance of the dollar. No currency has emerged as a clear potential substitute for the dollar, according to monetary reserves data. The euro has a share of less than 20% of the reserves, while the yuan has only 2.6%. The strong dollar especially hurts emerging markets. Since most emerging market trade is conducted in dollars, any appreciation of the dollar means other countries pay higher import prices, but de-dollarization is happening at a very slow pace. And the collective currency of the BRICS countries also faces many obstacles to taking influence away from the dollar. For example, the growth among the BRICS states is plummeting. China and India have opposing strategic interests, and the bloc will struggle to justify its economic purpose. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.